Get pumped.
Let's go. Ready?
Go, Robbie.
Ready? What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment, hanging out with Carlie Hanson.
What's up? I'm
Here
hanging
at
here
the
with Rob
label.
Kardashian, and he is just wow.
Damn.
He
What an
yes.
introduction.
Yes. Hello, my name is Carlie Hanson. I was born on May 18th, 2000. I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin. And that's the fucking tea. Oh, wait, can I swear?
You can do whatever you want.
And that's the fucking tea. Yo, what's up? It's Carlie Hanson, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Let's talk about last week, because last week you kind of did something crazy. You wrote a song with Third Eye Blind,
Oh, yes.
and then 7 hours later you went to the Greek to perform it.
Yes, I did.
How crazy is that? Like, I'm sure you've never done something like that where you write the song and you like test it out immediately.
No, and I've never done anything with someone so special as like Third Eye Blind. Like that is somebody I grew up listening to from a very young age. So, yeah, I got an email from this producer I work with a lot, Mitch Allen, who's been working with Third Eye Blind on their on this next record. So he emailed me like the day before we wrote the song. He's like, "Yo, Steven, the singer, wants you to come in and cut these parts for this song that we're working on." And I was like, "Oh, funny, like yeah, whatever." And so next day, went in that morning and just sang the parts on the song. And then jokingly in the studio, he was like, "You should just come on stage tonight," because they're playing at the Greek. He's like, you should just come on stage tonight and sing it with us. And I was like, right. Once again, thought it was like a joke. And then like a couple hours before the show, they texted me again. They're like, yeah, we really actually do want you to go on stage and sing this with us tonight. So I was really freaked out because I didn't like have the words memorized because obviously we had just did it that morning. So yeah, like the whole show, I was like sitting backstage practicing the words and then went on, and it felt like it was like a minute, but it was crazy, like
That's insane.
just really crazy. Yeah, and I like sent all the videos to my mom, and like it's just wild, so wild.
Now, is that the first time that you've actually like collaborated with someone, like, and especially like performed it live with someone?
Yeah, actually it is. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's the first time I've ever worked with another artist like that and performed with them. Yeah.
So now that you kind of got to write with them or jump into the studio with them while they were creating that, what did you catch from the way that they work?
Well, so they already had this song like pretty much fully written. There was just like these little parts he wanted me to sing, but it was interesting how he was writing. He's different than I am. Like I put a lot more like, or maybe he did already. I don't know. It was so like such a fast thing that I didn't really get to see like the whole process of his writing, but he didn't really like put too much thought into it. He was like, this is it, like it feels right, let's just go with it. But I'm an overthinker, and I tend to like go back and forth on like what way like it could be this. Yeah, I'm more of an overthinker, but he was super chill, and like he was coaching me through like just like how to sing it, and like it was just really cool to have someone like him.
That's so sick.
Working with someone like him. Yeah,
That's
so wild.
Sick. And then on top of that, you just released your EP, your debut EP with a label. Like, this is insane. Junk is incredible. It's been nonstop. It's funny because the day that it dropped, I was actually driving up to San Jose, so it was literally like on replay for a couple hours. So like, tell me about creating Junk, and what was the creative process behind it?
So I moved from Wisconsin to LA like pretty much a little over a year ago now. So for like the past year and a half, I've been writing constantly. And these songs, to me, I keep saying to people, it's literally as if I vomited my journal, like my diary, into a project. Because it's just like, it's all my thoughts I've been having, like growing into an adult and living on my own. And just a lot of, and I'm a Taurus. I'm known for not liking change, which really is very true about me. Like I get really anxious when like a quick change happens. So my life has drastically changed in the last year, going from living with my mom, my sisters, and my dogs, and being with my friends all the time, moving to LA at 17, and then moving into my own place. So like the EP is just like what I've been dealing with and like what's been going through my head and me growing up, and it's just all my junk, literally. Like it's like how everybody has a junk drawer, like that's what this project is to me, but not like it doesn't mean anything to me. It means everything to me. It's just like, yeah, it's all my junk.
I feel like that's like a great way to kind of introduce yourself to the world. Like, here's my junk. Get to
Yeah.
know me
Get
before
to
I
know
open
me.
up even more.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So, in order to open up to the world, what was it like for you getting vulnerable in the studio, and how were you able to make that happen?
It really depends on the people I'm working with because
Mm.
especially early on, it was really nerve-wracking. And also, I didn't know what a session was like early on. Like, I didn't know what you were supposed to say or like talk about. Like, am I supposed to just randomly sing melodies out loud?
Yeah.
Like, it was just a lot going on in my head. And I was working with a bunch of different people who I'd never met before. So once I got like my core group of people, it was so much easier for me to like talk to them about what's going on in my life and
Right.
like it's obviously easier to be honest with people you know than it is to be with strangers, at least
Right.
for me. So yeah, but like even the other day, I was in with someone I hadn't worked with before, and I got that feeling back again of like that. Oh, like I don't know if I can say this. Like, are they gonna think I'm weird? Like, So, but there's like the song Hazel on my EP it was very that was like the first time I was very like fuck this. Like I need to really talk about what's going on in my life right now because at the end of the day, that's what's really gonna help people because it's real and it's relatable and
Right.
yeah. But yeah, yeah.
And what producers did you work with for the EP? I know recently, a couple days ago, I want to say it was Andrew Goldstein who you were in the studio with.
Yeah,
Is
it
that right?
was. I
Okay.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, was he part of the EP as well, or
He
was it
wasn't.
someone
He's
else?
actually I'd never worked with him before, but we just got in with this writer I work with a lot, Steph Jones, and yeah, I'd never worked with him, but it was really fun working with him. And yeah, he wasn't on the EP, but on the EP I'd worked with Mitch Allen, like I said, M Phases, who's really fucking dope.
The band M Phases?
No, just the producer.
Okay.
Is there a band?
Is there a band? I want to say there's a band M Phases, or maybe it's just Phases.
I don't know, but I have to check him out, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but he's a cool producer. I'm working with him. Justin Gamella and Phil Good. Get it? Like feel good. They did Hazel and I'm working with them later on in August, so there will be more with them and Skylar Moans, who I did Numb with as well. My song Numb, he did Board with You, and House of Wolf is also on Board with You, and they're the first producers I ever worked with. Like they're the reason why I'm here today. They're the ones that found me on Instagram.
That's so sick.
So yeah, and Dale Anthony, he is like my main co-writer, and he wrote on the EP. And Brett McLaughlin, who's also an artist, goes by Leland. Yeah, I just have a lot of yes, amazing, just amazing people I'm surrounded by. Yeah.
Now, did you co-write with Chrissy Costanza as well, or was that something that for some reason I thought I saw her name or her post something about
No,
you?
yeah, I think no. She posted about listening to Junk, but I'd never met her or worked with her or anything.
That would be a sick collaboration.
Yeah, it would. I was shocked when I saw that.
So how did you challenge yourself, or how did these producers challenge you when you were in the studio making, finalizing this EP?
Well, there's like this weird, which I didn't know. There's like this weird thing about adding guitars to pop music, like some producers are like really stay away from that.
First time I heard that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know where I heard that, but whatever. So I guess the main like challenge was how do we make this rock but also still keep it in the pop world and like I look at Post Malone as a great example of like obviously I don't want to copy him or anything, but I look at him as a great example of you can't put him into a category at all.
Yeah,
like you can't put him into a genre. What is he, a rapper? Like he does everything. So yeah, I guess the challenge was like really putting these sounds into one and like making sure that it doesn't sound like a bunch of different sounding songs in this project. I wanted to make sure they all went together, and to me they did at the end of the day. Yeah.
Right. Now, when you were piecing these songs together, did they naturally flow in the order that they are in the EP now, or did you kind of have to figure out which to go first? Because I love that you opened up with "Bored with You."
That originally we knew from the beginning that was going to be the intro, but we were messing with a bunch of different track listing. Like I knew "Bored with You" was first, so I always made that the first one. But but then in my head I was like, do I want "Back in My Arms" to be first? Because that's like holy shit, like let's just slap them right away with this this banger. But then like. And I knew "Bored with You" was first, and I knew "Hazel" was last, because I love ending on a sad, like, heartfelt note. But yeah, it took multiple listens for a bunch of different track listening. I remember just like getting high and like replaying a different track list order and like just sitting there and feeling out which. Yeah.
Now I gotta admit, like the thing that sold me on your music was the beatbox.
Yeah.
Like because you don't hear that. You don't hear that at all. And like the way that you kind of nailed it and the way that it seemed like so natural, like, oh, let's just keep it or whatever. Like let me try it again. Like like immediately sold me.
Wow.
So, you know, what kind of inspired to add that beatbox in there?
I'm like constantly I'm always beatboxing in sessions. Like when like I'll make my like the producers I'm really close with, I'll like make them keep the mic on so I can just go like around the mic so I'm always doing it. And then finally I was like, yes, finally someone's listening to me. Let's finally put it in a song, because I'm always doing it constantly. And I grew up listening to Justin Timberlake a lot, so and obviously he was always ow. So like yeah, I just finally thank you to the makers of Bored With You, because I've wanted to do that for so long.
And it's funny you say Justin, because I feel like that's the first and last person I've heard do it.
Yeah, for real. I don't even know anybody else that I've listened to that does. Yeah.
So when you were writing this EP, this EP happened after the label signing, or was this like during the process of the signing?
There were like I think actually all of the songs were made before I signed. I think. Like maybe Bored With You wasn't. Bored With You is like the newest one. Okay. But Hazel we had for a long time, and like I would play it at my shows, and fans would always be like, "When are you gonna release Hazel?" And I'm like, "Please, you have to wait. Like there's a time and a place for it. Okay, please, just trust me." But yeah, and all the other songs were already made. Yeah, so we just had to find which ones were the ones that were gonna stick and make it on the EP. But yeah, Bored With You was the baby. Yeah, was the baby one. We were like, yes, this is the first one.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm glad that was the opener for the whole EP. So you got to experience some tour with Troye Sivan recently, and then you went out to the UK with Youngblood. Yes. So how, you know, those are two different tours that you went on. So what did you learn from those two different tours? Like, what did you pick up for whenever you go back on the road?
Right before I went on tour with Troye, I was on tour with Jeremy Zucker, and that was fun because it was just like, what's the saying, like getting my feet wet or whatever, dipping my toes in the water or whatever, because it was just like small venues, and I was like so new to performing because I had only played like a few shows before that tour. So after that, we went straight to big theaters with Troye, and that was just like, to this day, like it's all kind of like a weird blur because it just doesn't feel real. And like I had my band finally, like we got Tosh, my drummer, for that, because he wasn't on the Jeremy tour. So like that's when it all started really coming together, and I just learned from watching Troye every night and like just seeing what he does. And like also Troye all around is just like a great person, like a great influence, like not even just as a performer but as a person. So I just learned by watching him, and especially watching Youngblood, you really just need to like not give a single F word. Like you literally just have to let yourself go and just remember that we're all there to have a good time. Because I would get nervous. I would get like, I wouldn't know what to say on stage, and like now I could walk out in a towel and like I could like say fuck and be fine. Like we're all just there to have a good time. So I really got lucky going on tour with people like them, especially it's wild. Going to Europe and like performing for the crowds there was insane. Like
2 different worlds,
very different worlds. So I'm just very lucky. It was so much fun.
And I know you're gonna hit the road with Lauv later this year. I think October. But I do want to put something like out in the universe, because I would love for you to go out and tour. If you're not familiar with her, like I would love for you to get to know her. Man.
Say it. Say it.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Lauren Sanderson.
Oh,
Are you familiar with her?
I know that name. I think I've seen her. I think we may follow each other on Twitter, but I don't know if I've listened to her music yet.
You got to make it happen.
Okay.
Like her live show is like insane.
Now that you've said that, yep, she's definitely someone I'm checking out. Okay. Yeah. All right, sick. Now I'm eager.
And then when you go back into the studio with Andrew Goldstein, ask him about Friday Night Boys, if you don't know that already.
Boys, okay.
I don't know if he'll be happy showing you, or he'll be like, no, we don't talk about that.
Okay, all right. right, sick. I will.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Congratulations with the EP. Congratulations with the
much.
label signing.
Thank you very much.
We gotta get back together sometime
Yeah,
soon.
we do. Rob
Hey.
Kardashian, baby. Wait, what actually is your last name?
Herrera.
Rob Herrera. And we're out.
And we're out.
Hey!